Oh boy, hi everybody, welcome back to There Was a Bug on the Wall that I didn't notice till just before recording. This is take two, I am El Salvador, and this is Twilight by Boa. And let me tell you why this is a good thing right here. So, Boa's a very overlooked band. I have no idea why, well, kind of know why, but no idea why. And I believe the singer, I forget who specifically, but the singer, female again, coincidence, is actually the daughter of one of the people from Bad Company, although I forget which one, but they're very overlooked. This album is really, really good. And people know this album through two ways. Either they know the intro song, Duvet, because it was featured on the anime Serial Experiments in Lane back in the 90s, also really good. Or they know the second song, Twilight, through, TikTok edits, slowed and reverb, all that kind of stuff. And usually it's the latter, the anime one, that's like 90% of the times the reason why people know of at least this image, or at least this band or so. And not that Duvet is not a good song, it's a very good song. It's just that, like, the rest of the album is also equally as good, sometimes better. And so Bull came around in like the 90s, and it's kind of a mix of alternative rock and grunge, more so alternative rock, kind of a mix between the two, and it's a standard four-piece band. I'm pretty sure, like guitars, bass, drums, vocals, all kind of stuff. But there are certain tracks where there are strings and pianos that very, very much help this the sonic palette that they're making. It's just a really unique, well, I wouldn't say unique sound. It's not like they have their own sound, kind of like, Korn or Tool would have their own sound, but it is a very, it is a very good listen. It's a very good experience. So the opening track, Duvet, from what everyone mostly knows, pretty acoustic. And most albums, they have a big opener, and the second track they kind of die down a bit, and, I'll go from there. Usually there's a bigger climax in the middle of the album. This is not that. How Twilight starts off is pretty calm, and it starts at an incline. There's no like big opener. So Duvet, pretty acoustic, nice clean vocals, nice solos. Not even overdriven solos, just very like acoustic, almost um pad steel guitar, or the country one is that, or ukulele. Very clean, open solo. And track two, Twilight, is one of those songs where the strings come in, and storytelling, especially on this song, but a lot of the other songs too, is very well done. And it kind of acts like an actual, like a story, where every verse and chorus kind of get like, at least on this song, a bit more of the puzzle. Like, when the song starts, which I'll also say this album has very, very good flow from track to track to track, and like it's very good at flowing between songs. But this song starts clearly a sad song. You kind of get a piece of the story, something to do with a breakup or something like that. Verse two, kind of get more of the story, and it almost, it's so much like a story. It's kind of spoilery in a way if I were to tell you like, what happens at the end, but like it is a very good song. The strings add a lot, and the vocals are great. Fool, track three, is the first peak we get, and again, it's storytelling is a very, very good thing that they're able to do in this project. And what they do is, so I'm just doing something over here. So, so what they do is, so the main girl, I don't know her name, but singer, front woman of the band, I believe, based on the lyrics here and other things that I've read, is of Japanese descent, but were born and raised over in the West. And they have a big disconnect with that. And the song Fool is kind of about that. Kind of. I actually haven't looked at it. I haven't read the background to it in a while, but it's basically that. I should have read it before. But again, the first peak we get, the track ends with basically her breaking, like, with her being like, I'm a fool, I'm a fool, I'm a fool, world's burning around me, blah blah, all that kind of stuff. Very very good. Which way do I fall? Which way should I run or turn? Because I seem to fall towards burning, all that kind of stuff. Real good lyricism and stuff. Although I'm completely butchering it. Rain, very nice cool down. Very nice cool down. And that's another thing. Every one of these songs sounds pretty different too. They all sound pretty different from the last. And hold on, sorry, stuff going on. Rain is very acoustic, a lot more acoustic than the other ones. Strings still doing great. The next song, Elephant, also is very acoustic. Piano comes in again, and you could assume that maybe they're on some kind of I don't want to say drugs, but because I don't think they were, but some of these lyrics in this album are very very like, what the heck are they talking about? This seems very very like, what is this? The other songs have a clear meaning and they are very impactful. And Elephant sonically is very impactful. The lyrics, I could not tell you what is going on. A lot about where are the wise men, where have the children gone today, something like that. Very just strange. But the sound, especially the strings, again on this track, very, very well done, very good. The next track, Scoring, is the first track. No, sorry, my mistake, not the first track. So, Scoring, it kind of picks up again. You're starting to get another incline. It's building a bit, but it's not exactly there yet. Deeply is the next peak we get, and it's not as big or as grandiose or impactful as Fool, but it's still a peak before it kind of dips down again for a little bit. And Deeply, again, very, very good vocals in the chorus and in the little parts between the intro and the verse, the chorus and the verse, little in between stuff. Very nice, very powerful, very soaring. One Day, this is what I was thinking about earlier. One Day is the first track with not her singing, some other guy. I believe he's in the band. Let's forget if he's the guitarist or not. I'm not doing this justice. I should have read up on this before, but I didn't really think I second video I've done. I'll eventually do this right and start getting this down properly. Anyways, One Day, also really great, also really impactful. He's honestly a great singer too. There's nothing wrong with him singing at all. Nothing really wrong with it. I wouldn't say he's as good as the main front woman, but he is still very good, and he fits in this track very well. Welcome would be the next track after that, which would be One Day. I forgot about that. It is a very calm, atmospheric. It's really hard to describe. It's almost melancholy. And this album art here kind of generally sums up the sound of the album pretty well. I wouldn't say melancholy, I wouldn't say kind of eerie, I wouldn't say foreboding, but it's kind of on certain tracks like Twilight, certain tracks like Fool, certain tracks like this one, Welcome, just have that aspect to them, that emotion to them. And for an alt-rock or grunge band, there's a lot of acoustic. There's not really a lot of, powerful, overdriven guitar stuff. It's very, rhythmic focused. That's another thing, is that the drumming on this album is very, very good. It kind of reminds me of Pearl Jam's drumming a little bit, with how, rhythmic and complex it is compared to most other drumming within, grunge and alt-rock and all that kind of stuff. And the next track, for Jasmine, which might actually be the front woman's name, I think it might be Jasmine, I could be mistaken, starts off very calm, but quickly peaks and peaks and peaks. Again, not as much as Fool or deeply, but it still kind of very quickly kind of goes from a very calm, isolated vocals opening, then different strings come in here and there, strings come in again, very nice, and then the next song, Anna Maria, definitely is the last peak we get on this album, and it is almost flamenco in its style, like the rhythms of the drums and in just the guitar, how like flamboyant and fast it's being strummed and very rhythmic to all kind of stuff. And then we get the two last songs, Little Miss and Drinking. And I didn't look at the lyrics for Little Miss, but I kind of just go off of when I listen to it. These last two, I just kind of let the tracks do their thing. I kind of just let them immerse me, all kind of stuff. And I think that Little Miss and Drinking are about the same subject matter rather than the same person, because they both mention some guy and some girl. And Little Miss kind of, from my understanding, talks about them together or something. So it's talking about both of them. And then Drinking, which is just acoustic, just her singing, very calm, very, very, it's a very good closer. It's very, kind of taking you down, and it's, Drinking is talking about, it seems like the girl talking to the guy. So I would think maybe this is like a failed relationship. Again, I should have checked. I didn't. I should start doing that. But again, second video, I will eventually get the hang of this. Same with lighting and camera. It's still kind of but anyways. Very, very good closer. And with songs like this where it's very stripped back, just acoustic, just vocals, the vocals are a lot more easily understood, very recognizable, because that's really the only thing kind of there. So you can usually understand them word for word. So usually it's very important that you better have some good lyricism on those kinds of songs, because that's when it's most noticeable. And it is good here too. You say that drinking's better than a woman because it takes too much time. What God save your children if you ever have them, that kind of stuff. Like it's very, again, storytelling stuff. It's very well paced, all that kind of stuff. And if I were to pick out like the highlights, Duvet, obviously a highlight. Twilight, Fool, I'd say the first half is a lot stronger than the last half, but it's still kind of like here and there. It's not that the tracks aren't highlights aren't good. Just that like they're like, I think there is just tracks that are like really, really good and tracks that are like good compared to the other songs, but they're still good on their own right. When you compare them to other ones, it kind of, in comparison, they kind of lose a little bit. And it's like Duvet's really good, Twilight's really good, Fool is really good, Elephant's really good, Deeply's really good, Welcome is really good, and Drinking is really good. The rest, all of them are good. But I would say that they're all good. It's a matter of taste, because again, all the songs are very different from each other. Although they kind of do have the same general sound, like again, like Anna Maria is a lot more like flamenco-ish, Welcome's really calm, Fool's very impactful, pretty dramatic and intense, Twilight's very kind of foreboding, Elephant's just, its own thing, like between songs like Drinking and Deeply, where there's a big contrast, and have taste, you like heavier stuff, or you like calmer stuff. And it's really sad, because I'm pretty sure this is like their only album. They have like another one, but I think it's only the two albums, and the second one is not really that good at all. But this one is front to back really amazing. It really is. I'd probably say it's a good 9 out of 10, to be honest. Maybe even like a strong 8. It's very good at what it does. And it's one of those albums kind of just put on. And I wouldn't say it's background music, but it's not distracting either. It doesn't like grab your attention, but when you do listen, it's very nice, very pleasing. And that's about it. So, yeah.